Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SF1 Realistic Tier here for Sunday, right before the Super Bowl. We are going to pop in the Australian Grand Prix Round 7 for this championship right now. Heating up quite a bit. We're going to jump down through to SF1 Bravo, who's sitting in the pits. 16 drivers have made it. I'm going to give a massive shout out to all 16 of you guys. Thank you so much for giving us one of our first full proper qualities. Not all the way full, just about 4 cars short of a full quali session, but yeah, Q1 is going to count this evening, so I'm going to give you guys a look at some of the track info lining up for this evening. The Australian Grand Prix. This track was built around a street circuit in 1993. Definitely full quality this evening. We have 29 laps that these drivers are going to have to contest with. So let's take a look at some of the guys on track now. Get some of the stuff up for you. I was not here for that. And get the tires up. Somebody, a liar face, is going to think he's funny and go for a wet compound. Click off that real quick. See who might be first across. A couple guys are actually. Elise has set a 24.6 on that Alpine. He's going to have the first competitive time on the board here in Q1, so if anybody crashes out, let's say one driver crashes out, these guys will have to set a time lap and then they can all retire. We'll see if anybody crashes out. These guys in the tiers have just recently run the Australian Grand Prix, so it should be fresh in their mind, ready to go for this evening. And I got a little birdie in my shoulder telling me that, let me turn the sound up on the game just a bit. Finally got my new Chatlin cable. There we go, just about there. Be right on board. Make sure the levels are just right. Perfect, that's what I like to see. The Morris sets a 24.1 in that Aston Martin. Come back through. See what Panta can do in that McLaren. Had a bit of a unfortunate start at the Singapore Grand Prix last week. See what he can do this evening. Jake, right now our championship leader, sets a 23 flat. Looking quite quick in that Ferrari. As Ross tips that over and Scuderia AlphaTauri Honda team with a 22.8. Panta invalidates this lap. The death curve. Man, that sun is really hazy this evening. That might be for a reason, as I was saying, the birdie in my shoulder. Rain is going to hit this race within 30 minutes during it, so it's going to get quite interesting towards the end of the race. What is that going to do for the guys on the strategy, especially for the guys on a slower team, such as, I would say, maybe the Aston Martin will seal, particularly not want to make or go out of Q2 and make Q3 and start this race on a medium compound and try to take those to the rain. But I know Codemasters, they like to lie about how soon the rain hits or how long out it hits. Right now, Ross sitting top of the board with a 22.8. I believe Jake's on a cooldown lap. Run down through. Maybe Ryan sits at 38.9. I'm sure he can improve on that. So I'm going to ask, how you guys doing this evening? Is anybody, I know a lot of guys in SF1 are going to watch the Super Bowl, which is surprising, because I'm an American in a predominantly British league, and I'm probably not going to watch it. I never watched football. I'm more of a, as we call it over here, a soccer fan, and definitely a Formula 1 fan. As we see Phil go up to a 22 or 23.3. Maybe Ryan pops in at 23.7 in that Alfa Romeo to outperform it yet again, week in, week out. Right now, sitting P4. Can anybody touch Ross's time here in Q1? And what driver are we going to lose out? Allow your face pushing that Ferrari. Nicely done to what we like to call here in SF1 the death curve. The car handled really nicely through it. He must have a nice setup going on through. See what time Allow Your Face in that Ferrari can get on the board. Can he get close to his teammate with a 23 flat? The RS is wide open on that rear wing. Crosses the line now, goes to 23.8, so 0.8 off of his teammate. Bravo on his way out of the pits to start his flyer. Well, out lap really. Let's see what time Seal can get in. I'm going to make a mention of Seal too. Seal dropped me a personal message last week after the Singapore Grand Prix after I was ranting on about my Fnatic and the connection it has with this game. Haven't taken a look at it, Seal. I promise I will. I just haven't had time. Keep an eye down through the field. Hubs pulls into the pit. Stig, massive thank you for making it this evening. This man got his booster yesterday, so he's not feeling the best. You might see he spun off the track just a little bit, but I know this man loves the rain, and rain is on the way in the race, so it might just cheer him on a little bit more to keep pushing that Alfa Romeo this evening around the Melbourne street. Oli is on the bubble about making it, until I realized that the Super Bowl is really late for him this evening, so he's got plenty of time to put a couple of laps in that McLaren. Let's see what kind of time SF1 Moley can put in. See if he can get himself in the top 5. His teammate yet to set a lap. Through turn 1 and turn 2. Nicely done. Coming up to turn 3 where Alonso, who was it? Alonso and I can't remember who else it was, had that massive crash back in 2015. I think it was one of the hash drivers. I think it was Roman. No, it was either Kevin Magnussen or Romain Grosjean. Keep an eye on Moley, see what time he can get on the board. Coming up to the depth curve, can he pass it? Lifts off just to make sure he can get through. Definitely a different approach to that corner Moley takes as to Allow Your Face if you watched it. Allow Your Face kept the throttle the whole way down. Allow Your Face, we might have improved. So Panta does get a time on the board at 24.1. Let's see where Moley sits next to his teammate. Crosses the line now, goes P8 with a 24.2. Good times are coming on the board. A lot of 23s, a couple 24s. A couple guys I'm sure are going to improve, like Operator can improve. Let's see if Seal will improve on his 28. Stig puts a 29. Bravo in that Mercedes catbird seat, as I'd like to call, because there's only one Red Bull here this evening. Let's see what time Bravo can get on the board. In that Mercedes, that black Mercedes. Hubs is on outlap, so he's going to start his flying soon. I think ABR Ryan's just putting laps in his practice, which I used to do as well. There's no shame in it. Bravo opens that DRS in the rear wing. Coming up to the line now. It's going to be a quick time. 23.3. Good enough for P3. Just ahead of his teammate Phil, who's on his way out now from the pits. The only man left to put a lap in is this man. We'll ride on board with Hubdy and see what kind of time he can get on the board. The AlphaTauri team, mighty strong in this realistic tier. I'll show you guys the points after we get through quali. Hubs grabs a little bit of that grass. Once we finish up in Q1, I'll get that track information off. Just giving you guys, anybody who's popping into the stream right now, an idea of where we're at. I know most people that play this game will know exactly where we're at by the circuit. I was coming up to what I like to consider my favorite part of this track, but it does catch a lot of drivers off. A hard left. There he goes a little deep. Yep, he's invalidated. It's a tricky corner. When to throw the car in. So let's see if he backs off and goes for another run. Jump with everybody else. Is Phil trying to improve? No, yeah, he's going to be on an out lap. He's going to push it for another one. Looks like Hubby is going to go for another run. So let's hope he can get a time on the board here with this second run. Aston Martin moves out of the way. Morris, I'm going to apologize. I didn't see your message until just late. You wanted to go back to the Williams. But I think you have a little bit more fun time in the Aston. Bill, this man, part of the Red Bull team in the regular tiers that has pulled the championship in combined constructors, so big congratulations to him. And oh, Bill's retired. Bill, oh, Bill has hit the death curve into the wall. I have a feeling we're gonna see a couple of guys sitting there during the race. So Bill's gonna be out of this. I believe everybody, Hubs just has to put a time in, a competitive time, then everybody should be able to make it through to Q2. That will push Bill down to P16, and that will be it for this evening in Q1. Take a look through. See if Hubs can get this time on the board. And we up to the final corner before the DRS straight. Down to the finish line. DRS is open. SF1 Molly has retired. That's it. Seal is the only one that's got to improve. Can he do so? Jake has joined. Oh, I wonder if he is having game issues, server issues, not sure. But we're just riding along here with Seal to see if he can improve. There's Bill's spare tire. Somebody, hey Bill, let your Alpine team know that they forgot to pick up a tire. Still laying in the middle of the track. That might be a dangerous hazard to some of these other guys. See if Seal can get its time on the board. If so, should put everybody in for the Catbird for Q2. They'll leave Bill out in Q3. DRS open for Seal. What can he do with that Aston Martin this evening in Q1? Goes P6 with a 23.3. Alright, I'm going to let everybody know. Oh, operator's still sitting down there. Operator's got to give it a go. He's got to beat a 24.7. He is in the Red Bull, which is a predominant car here in Realistic. He should be able to beat that time. Goes a bit deep off that exit. No invalidation, though. Jiggly accidentally quit instead of retiring. Nice. Operator locks up just a little bit going into the second to last corner. Down the main straight, DRS is his. Can he improve on a 24 or a 25? No, it's going to be a 25. He does improve by 1/10, but still not good enough for P15. Will we only have 14 cars running in Q2? That is the question. We have a minute and 30 to go. Stay on board with Operator. He's got to push. Elise has retired. Panta, if you're hearing me. Robbo, Jake, you guys can all retire from the pits. You guys are definitely safe. We're just riding on the board with the man who's in danger right now. Everybody put on your Operator shirts and cheer this man on. Can he get to Q2 this week? I will say it's great to see Operator back. He raced with us a while ago. I think when I first was in the league, probably back in 2018, I believe, when I first saw Operator. Took a bit of a break, but joined back up this season. Both Tier 3 and Realistic Tier. He's gone deep again. He's... Oh! That's gonna cause some issues on the rear wing. He's probably gonna have damage. I think that's gonna be it for Q1, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Operator and Bill are gonna fail to qualify Well, Bill crashed out, but operator is going to fail to qualify for Q2 in that Red Bull. A lot of damage to the front wing. I'm pretty sure he's probably has some kind of damage to the rear wing as well. Can't retire, it's making me just stare at the pits. That's always lovely. So operator's gonna pull in. I'm gonna believe that's gonna be it. Stig is gonna go for a run though. Let's jump on board with Stig and see if he can do in this Alfa Romeo. He'll be using this as his final run, a little bit of practice. DRS open. I absolutely loved this track when, you know, we started a season when we were at Australia, and I always had it marked in my calendar, yet for some reason I always had some kind of issue with a driver just completely destroying my car. I Stig blocked the car too. He's out of this. He doesn't DNF from that though. Heavy collision with a wall, yet the car is still alive. No front wing though. He's gonna have a long crawl back to the pits. Actually, if you're hearing me, Stig, you can retire on track. There you go. Let's move on to Q2, shall we? Gonna get this track information off the board. Give you guys a complete rundown of Q1 results. Ross Plum sets the quickest lap here in Q1 with a 22.8. Quick up, or second up is Jake. Running down the order, we have Allow Your Face, SF1 Bravo, Phil, Seal 6th. We have Elise 7th, ABR Ryan 8th, Panta 9th. We have Carito in 10th, CSC Morris 11th. We have Molly 12th. Hub D is in 13th, SF1 Stig 14th. He does make it through. And as I was predicting, Bill crashing out early in Q1. He's not going to put into, or he's not going to be in Q2. An operator put in best Bill's time. So he's going to be out of Q1 as well. We're going to have 14 drivers make it into Q2. How many and what kind of decisions are they going to make? Not how many, but what drivers are going to select compounds? Because the top 10 will need to carry those compounds into the race. So it'll be interesting to see who decides to try to see if they can put a medium compound and get through Q1 or Q2 into Q3. Let's get that delta back up for you guys. Why did it disappear? I never know that. Back to full map. Alright, let's take a look at the tires, because that is going to be an important factor here. You do know people like, or not people, but the teams, like I would say like Alpha might need to use the soft compound if they want to get into Q3. And then people on the bubble, such as, you know, Panta might have to jump on a soft compound. Seal, we'll see what the Ferrari team does this evening. It'll be an interesting call from them. But the man we're going to ride with, that I've chosen this week, because I told everybody I'm going to keep it a secret going forward, it is going to be ABR Ryan. So when he's on his out lap and goes for a flyer, he's going to be the guy we ride it with on a lap around the Australian Grand Prix Circuit. Take a look now. Who was first out? It looks like it was Hubdy. No, it's actually his teammate Ross. So the guys warming up, getting ready for Q2 here. A couple guys, well, a lot of the field has decided to go for that medium compound and try to take him to the race. We'll jump back on board with ABR Ryan once he works his way around the circuit. Going into turn 1 now, or sector 1. So we'll stay on board with Ross to see what kind of time he can get on the board. Can he go quickest in Q2? His quickest man in Q1. That AlphaTauri team is just lightning fast. Gets a little out of shape on the exit there coming down. That's going to hinder his time overall, but here we go into turn 1. The AlphaTauri team, powered by that Honda power unit, is just massively quick. Jake has retired from the session. I think he wants to play this one safe. We'll see what that Ferrari can do. He is leading the championship. The man, he was in the Red Bull, dominated 2 races, got nerfed after the 4 races into a Ferrari team, and goes and wins the Belgian Grand Prix, so that's kind of hilarious. But let's jump on board with the man that we're gonna ride with and take a lap around the Australian Grand Prix Circuit. Pick that hot lap information up. Let's go into turn 1 with ABR Ryan. Nicely done. Oh, he's invalidated. All right. Sometimes the pressure can click on. We'll turn that off for the meantime, and we'll come back to him once he goes for another run. Let's see, a lot of guys having issues. If Phil can get the first competitive time on the board, we're already down to 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Bill was on an out lap, so a couple guys pulling into the pits. Let's see if Ross can get his time in. Ross sets a 24.3 on a medium compound. That is a strong time indeed. Let's see what Elise does with a 24.9. And that Alpine, who's next up, is going to be... It's not going to be Panta, it's going to be Molly. Let's jump down to Molly, see what time he can do with the McLaren. Ross is a 23.8 on a soft compound. So he's going to play aggressive on his strategy. A couple other guys coming across. They have an Aston coming across. And this man, let's see if he's going to give it one more go. He is. Let's jump on board with him. Give him another chance at this. Hot lap information up. Right on board with Ryan coming into turn 1. Nicely done. Hug that line. Don't cross it like you did last time. DRS open. Coming up to turn 3. Locks up just a little bit. Don't touch those curves. Oh, gets the Alpha a little out of shape. Don't touch that inside curve. It'll spit the rear end out and you'll just go careering in the wall. This part of the track right here is where it starts to really flow for me. That's why I like this Sector 2 and the Sector 3. We have a McLaren ahead. Hopefully they move out of the way. Don't touch that Sasha's curve. Nicely done. Hung on to that apex in the exit. Panta pulls way off into the grass. Nicely done by Panta. Then the trickiest part of the track. Heavy speed. Nicely done. A little scarce from that Alfa Romeo. Ultimate lap for AVR Ryan to get a time on the board. He is going to try to push these mediums. Oh, oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, wait, yeah, okay. This man, I know that Alpha is a massive thing to try to hold on to. He's going to give it another shot here on a medium compound. He does set a 34.1, but took control after rejoining and it retires me. Yeah. You're gonna have a nice time. You might be starting P14, Jake. We'll see what you can do in that Ferrari. And if you get a podium, I'm gonna nerf you even harder. I promise. No, it's all jokes. We still have 2 races with this. And I thought for a second that Leatherface was gonna be the guy that drives this race without a helmet. I don't think anybody has. I think they might have fixed that in the last patch. So right now, as it stands, 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining. SF1 Molly remains the quickest guy on track with a soft compound at 123.8. Ross sitting at 24 flat. Stig goes P6 on a soft compound. He's looking to press himself in the Q3. But running down the order, Seal up to P3 on a soft compound. We have Phil P4 on a medium compound, at least P5 soft compound. Stig puts himself P6 on a soft compound. Morris is in P7, medium compound. Panta's going to go aggressive, it seems, just slapped on those soft compounds. Currently sitting P8, that is a danger zone, as well as Carito. Humpty's sitting right on the border. Maybe Ryan at 11, having issues on his laps. As Robbo, the man in the Merc, puts himself P2. Nicely done by the Merc driver on a medium compound too. That is going to be a strong strategy, I believe, because they do have rain. If you guys missed it in Q1, they have rain in this race that is going to arrive in or around 30 minutes. So probably around lap, I would say 16 or 17, maybe even lap 20-ish. So if these guys on the medium compounds can take them until the rain, they can pull off a one-stop strategy. Keep an eye on some of the other guys. Allow Your Face still sitting in the pits. Rito. Who just improved? That was Phil. No, it wasn't Phil. It was Ryan who went up to P5 with a 124.3. Of course, the lap that he improves, he gets himself up into the top 5. It's a lap we don't record of him, so I'm sure I'm gonna get stick from that. Keep an eye on Allow Your Face, still sitting in the pits. He's on his way out now, I believe, from that Ferrari team. Yeah, that's gotta be Allow Your Face. Let's see if he can get a time on the board that puts him in the top 10 so he can push on into Q3. Take a look through. Brian's pulling in the pits. Stig leaves on a cooldown lap. TSC Morris on that danger zone bubble. He's going to try to improve. He's going to stay with the medium compound strategy, though. I think that's the strongest, but it's going to be dangerous for some of these guys in these teams. Seal has retired from P4. I think he's comfortable starting this race with a soft compound if he gets through to Q3, which I believe a 24.2 on a soft compound is going to be pretty tough to beat for any of these guys that are on a medium compound. He might be pretty comfortable there. I mean, everybody has just about 5 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Running on board with Morris. It looks like Elise is going to give it another go. Allow Your Face is out on track. We'll jump on board with him. See if he can't put a time on the board. Alright, let's see if Morris can improve on his time. Actually, let's jump on board with Allow Your Face and see if he can get a competitive time on the board this evening in that Ferrari. Or as a lot of the fans like to call it, and correct me, Scuderia Ferrari. Goes a bit deep on the entry of turn 1 into turn 2. Coming up to turn 3 now, DRS is his. I remember back in the day when I joined SF1, I don't know if you guys want to trip down memory lane, but every race was full quali for some reason. We did full quali. It was like, I think I always made it until about Q2, and then I was just like, yeah, I'll just start from wherever. Because I was famous of not having a lot of time to practice before a race. I did a lot of races late at night, like career mode. But I would jump on before a race and I'd go into time trial, which is like the worst place you can do practice at. Put in 1 lap of dry, 1 lap of wet, and join the lobby and get ready for racing. So I think that's why, that's like, as the race went on, I got better and better because I was getting more adapted to the track. But that was just my stick. It was because these guys race at 8 o'clock their time. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time. But Allow Your Face down the start line straight. DRS is his. What time could he get on that board with a medium compound? Good enough for P11. Not good enough for Q3 though. We'll see if he can improve on a second lap. Is he going to push? He is pushing. That DRS is open. Carito has retired from P12. So he's going to see himself out in Q2 and get a free choice of tires at the beginning of the race. They might be the best strategy. We'll see what Hubs does too. He's sitting in the pits right now. Is he going to push or is he going to start this race P13? Right now, Panta on the bubble. I think Panta is pushing on the soft compound. Let's see if he can get close to his teammate. His teammate is in a titanic battle right now with SF1 Croce in Tier 3. Williams versus Red Bull. Both those guys separated by, I think it's only like, it's got to be maybe 5 points going into the final 2 rounds of the season. It's the only title that hasn't been wrapped yet, and it is super close. So if you guys want to watch a battle between those guys, make sure you turn into this channel, SF1. For Tier 3, they race on Thursdays at 8:30. I believe they are going to Saudi Arabia is their next race this Thursday. It is going to be a firecracker. You can catch Gunners, who is a legend on the comms already. He does those streams for us. Massive, massive thank you for him. Completely knocks it out of the park, and has a couple of catch lines too. He's already blowing me out of the water, and he's only done maybe he's done a couple good streams lately. Probably since he started, he's probably tacked up to about 40 now. Let's see if Panta can improve on that 25.1, sitting right on the cusp of getting knocked out of Q2. I think he's gonna try to match. No, he's not backed out. Moley has retired though. Probably a safe bet for that McLaren, sitting P1. Let's see, I wasn't watching the sector time. I was watching Panta. Let's see if he can improve. Where does he come across in sector 3? 30 seconds remaining here in Q2, and then we're going to get to the business end of who is going to get pole position here for the Australian Grand Prix as Panta sets a purple sector 2. This could be a quick lap. See if he can't match his teammate. Panta has a lot of pace in himself. Let's see if he can put it in that McLaren this evening. And maybe top his teammate. Has a little bit of bragging rights coming out of Q2. DRS is his. It's gonna be close. Crosses the line. No, it's not gonna be close enough though. Panta P5. Maybe Ryan going for another run. Stig, his teammate just behind him. These two guys. Alfa Romeo duo outperforming the Alfa Romeos, getting them into Q3. Pretty much a done deal. It's up to Hubs. The Hubs can improve. But there's only one driver compared to two who are sitting P7 and P8. See if Hubd can get himself into Q3. Now is the time to do it. He does. He goes P5. Besting Panta's time just. Oh, look at the strategy these guys are going to have to run if they go into the race with these tires. Everything from Moley down to Elise. Right now, Morris is the one on the board who is in danger. He's going to push on these soft compounds. Can he get himself into Q3? Right now is the moment of time. Is Morris going to put that Aston Martin into Q3? Yes, he does. It pushes Elise out. Is Elise going to improve? Elise takes it from Stig. Stig is done, so that's going to be it. Elise pops himself into Q3 on a soft compound. Wow, there are actually only a couple guys now that have made it through to Q2 or Q3 on a medium compound. A lot of these guys are going to start on the soft compound, which is going to be interesting. Alright, give you guys a rundown order of Q2. SF1 Moley goes quickest now in Q2, followed by Phil. SF1 Rabo 3rd, Ross Plum 4th. We have CSC Morris in 5th, Hubd 6th, Panta 7th, Seal 8th. ABL Ryan squeezes that Alfa Romeo into Q3. Might as well just call him Gio. We have Elise in P10. Alright, so let's see. The top 10 going into the start of the race are completely split by 5. 5 and 5. 5 drivers are going to start this race on a soft compound. And the other 5 are going to make it on a medium compound. So this race could get interesting. Depending on how clean the race at start could be. We shall see. If everybody makes it through, then that range strategy with a medium compound might come into a massive gain for some of these drivers. Now onto the business end, the fun end. Who's going to get pole position for this race this evening? We have 12 minutes to find out. I know mostly everybody's going to go soft compound. Well, you have to go soft compound if you want a pole position. Who's going to be first out on track? I already see a team. Oh, it's going to be AlphaTauri. Is that Ross? It is Ross. This man likes to get out quite early and try to put a lap in. I used to do the same, actually. But I've since gotten slower and slower and slower, so I've retired to the comms pool. I seem to be somewhat decent at that still. Is it riding on board with him? There we go. So, both AlphaTauris make it through to Q3. And it's hard to predict who is going to get pole position here. It really is. You have Phil in a Mercedes, you have Robbo in a Mercedes, Molly in a McLaren, Ross in an AlphaTauri, who was quickest in Q1. It's just, I mean, Phil is a Tier 2 driver, Hubdy is a Tier 2 driver, Ross is a Tier 2 driver. Ross, I believe, got a podium in the Portuguese Grand Prix on Friday. So let's see if he can't carry that pace into the Australian Grand Prix this evening. This is why I like this tier. It's exciting. And I know the drivers who take care, or they, you know, pilot these cars, how much different these cars feel compared to the equal cars that these guys race in tier racing. Those subtle small mistakes might have more consequences towards these cars than they do in the equal cars. As Ross begins his first flying lap, the first flying competitive lap of Q3, and he's already invalidated. That turn one is getting a couple people out this evening. Who's next up on the board? We have a Alpine of Elise. Let's see what time Elise can get in. He could sit top of the board for a moment's time if he can complete this lap. Nicely done so far from Elise. Taking those corners. Carlos Sands likes to say, smooth operator. Hug that inside. Yeah, I always hug the inside as well. I believe that is the quickest way around the track. Then get to the very edge of that wall as you can. Nicely done. Oh, he's invalidated as well. But who was behind him? I believe it was one of the Mercedes. It was Robbo, but Robbo's on a out lap. Let's take a look at the McLaren of Panta. Panta is on a flyer. I believe he's going to be the first guy to set a lap this evening. What can Panta do in that McLaren? Oh, who is that on the inside there? It is a Alpine of Elise, I think, facing the wrong direction. He might get DQ'd if he doesn't move quick enough. Panta goes quickest. Phil goes quickest with a 23.2. Panta a 23.7. Molly goes to 23.2. Super close between himself and Phil. ABR Ryan goes to 23.3. Seal takes a 23.2. And that Aston Martin provisional pole right now. Whereas Moore's going to cross in the Aston Martin. He's just started his lap now. At least gets his Alpine moving quite nicely. All right. Game didn't cut him out. Let's see if Ross can complete his lap. I'm looking at this man because he was quickest in Q1. We'll see what he can carry that speed into Q3 here. 7 minutes to decide who is going to start in P1 for round 7. Crossing the line now. Does Ross do it? He goes quickest, 22.5, so even quicker than his Q1 time. So the track has improved. See if anybody can get close to that. Ross looking like he is a shoo-in for a quick drive this evening, at least giving it another go. His Hubs is still sitting in the pits. I wonder if the Mercedes team, or maybe even the McLaren team, might work together and give each other kind of a pull or a tow at some point to try to get closer to Ross's time. Bravo is the quickest guy, closest to his time, with about, let's say, around 4/10 off of Ross. Take a look now. Least in the pits, Hubdy in the pits, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Now is where the nerves start to catch in. That is a bold statement from Ross. I think he says, I don't think I can improve on that. It was a perfect lap, so I'm gonna see if you guys can do it. And he's decided to retire from P1 currently with a 22.5. Will this track improve? Can anybody get close enough to that time? Everybody's sitting in the pits. A couple guys on their out lap now, such as Ross's teammate Hubdy. Bravo, is he going for another flyer on these? I know a lot of these guys are probably using scrub tires. He doesn't have DRS open though. Oh, he just popped it open now. A little late. Still on an out lap. I wonder if the Mercedes team was listening to me about giving each other a tow. We'll see. Where's Bravo compared to... I know, Bravo's actually behind Phil. Take a look. Yeah, that's Hubdy ahead of Phil, so we'll see what happens. A lot of guys sitting in the pits. Elise is on his way out. Hubs, as we mentioned, is on his way out. Phil on his way out. Where is Bravo? Bravo's backed off, so they're not going to do the tows. I thought I would have been massively impressed if they decided to do that, but Phil's going to give it another go in that Mercedes. Let's take a dive in with the Mercedes driver, see if he can improve. Easy does it into turn one. Don't want to go too wide, you'll invalidate. Ooh, little deep on that entry there. Bill sets a purple sector one. This could be a time to look at. We'll stay on board with the Mercedes driver. Watch him put his time in. Can he get anywhere? Oh no, he's invalidated. I feel like I'm the commentator's curse guy this evening. So Phil's gonna have to wind down and give it another run. ABR Ryan's gonna go for a run. At least I think is having issues with that Alpine again. He's spun around. The end of sector one. Hubdy on a flyer. Can he get anywhere close to his teammate Ross, who's currently holding pole position and is retired from it at 22.5? Closest guy to him is Robbo in that Mercedes with a 22.8 or 22.9. Hubdy's not going to be close enough. He goes to 23.7, good enough for P8. Just ahead of CSE Morris, who's on another out lap. Can at least get a time on the board here in Q3. Alright, everybody's sitting in the pits. Panta's on his out lap. Ryan on an out lap. Ryan is going to be the next guy to give his lap a go. We have 2 minutes and 30 on the board left here in Q3. And then it'll be on to the race where these drivers have 29 laps to contest up. And to spice it up a bit, some rain on the way. Sector 1 yellow for some. Take a look. I think it's. Oh, yeah, is Molly stuck in a sandwich? He is. A lot of guys gonna go for a final lap here. At least did get a time on the board, but I think he's gonna try to improve on that 34.6. He's put a couple laps on those soft compounds. Maybe a spin or two here and there. Sets a purple sector 2 though. This could be interesting from the Alpine driver. What time can he get on that board? Stay on board with him. This track is quite a tricky track, just like Singapore last week. This is a pretty unforgiving track, especially the curves around here. Here goes Elise into the final corner, and he knocked this lap out of the park. DRS is his, coming up to the 22 mark. Goes P3, solid run from Elise. With that Alpine, 23.2. Sits in third as it stands. A couple guys on their out lap. Are we gonna have a car park here? Seal gearing up to go. Bravo on a getting ready to go. Oh, he's invalidated his outlap. That doesn't matter. So Moley giving it a run. ABR Ryan ahead of him. Panta just behind. 30 seconds to go. CSC Morris doesn't have a front wing, so that's going to be his qualifying over with. He's going to start this race in 10th. Abdi is retired from P9, so he's going to start P9. So it's up to Panta, Ryan, Moley, Phil. Panta has retired. Where is Panta retired from? It's retired on track, I believe. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues with these guys coming through. Interesting. Alright, we'll come up to, I believe Elise is going to pull back into the pits. Yeah, he's on a cooldown lap. So let's jump on board with Ryan, who's going to cross the line. What can he do with that Alfa Romeo this evening in Q3? Already outperformed it enough to get it into Q3. Can he possibly put himself in the top 5? Coming down the line, DRS open. Elise has retired. ABR Ryan goes P2. Moley takes P2. And I believe that's going to be it, except for Robbo, he's improved. What can he do with that Mercedes? Can he nab pole position here at the final closing stage? Phil's on a flyer as well. Robbo goes P1. What can Phil do? Oh, I think Phil got P4. We'll have to take a look. What a exciting end to that qualifying. SF1 Robbo steals pole position from Ross Plum in the dying stages to grab pole position here for the Australian Grand Prix. We have Ross in P2. Phil goes P3. We have Seal P4, SF1 Moley P5, ABR Ryan P6, Elise P7, Panta P8, Abdi P9, and CSC Morris is going to start this race in P10. Alright, we're going to load up for the race, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a 5-minute complimentary break for the drivers to get themselves ready, grab a drink of water or whatever beverage they're deciding to indulge in before, I know a lot of them are going to watch the Super Bowl. And then we'll be off to the race. I'll give you guys a rundown of the championship points, and then I'll rest my voice for 29 laps of this race. I'm excited. I'm actually really full appreciation for these guys showing up for the Australian Grand Prix. It's not the most popular track in the F1 community. As you guys can see, those clouds are inbound. While we wait, let's take a look at the points coming into this race. I'll give you guys a look at the constructors so far. As you can see, Mercedes take over the top spot again after the Singapore Grand Prix last week, dropping AlphaTauri back down to P2. But AlphaTauri, it just gives you guys an idea. They're flying in this championship. Ferrari hold on to P3 ahead of Red Bull, which is an eye-opener. Alpine sitting P5. We have Aston Martin dropping down to P6. McLaren holding on to P7. We have Williams in P8. Alfa Romeo could possibly take over Williams with only Carito in that Williams this evening. We have both Alfa Romeos here this evening, and Haas getting some more points last week thanks to Paps. Paps not able to race this evening. He had another race somewhere else, but he is helping that Haas team as well as SF1 Stig did. But the driver points that you guys want to see, everybody wants to see it. Jake Wilson continues to lead this championship, separating himself from ABL Ryan by about 40 points last week. They were still close on track. ABL Ryan finishing, I think, P4, Jake finishing P3 or P2 in that Ferrari. Bill holding on to P3. We have SF1 Molly in P4. Allow Your Face is P5. Ross is P6. Hubdy P7. SF1 Bravo P8. SF1 Stig is P9. Bill P10. Panta in 11th. We have Elise in 12th. Operator 13th. Seal 14th. Cressy is still not here this evening. We have Carito in P15 or P16. Yo Robbie, who's online, but he's still not coming. He didn't show. He did mark that he was going to race, but he's not here. And Shimon, I know he's Abu Dhabi based, so he might be sleeping right now. We'll have to get in touch with him. But we'll give you guys another look at the reserve drivers for this evening. You'll see CSC Morris and Aston Martin. He is right behind Paps, so these points do carry over if they decide to go full time. This gives you an idea. I want them to know what points they stand on coming into the championship. Canton has 7 points to his name. Paps, who's racing elsewhere this evening, is holding on to the top spot of that reserve points in 72. But we give you a look again at the driver's points. I'm going to rest my voice and get ready to go for 29 laps around the Australian Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We should be going in probably right on the hour marks. Can't wait. It's going to be exciting. Rain is inbound. Remember that. Let's get to it. Countdown has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to go racing here for the Australian Grand Prix. Get these points off the board for you guys. All right, setting off on the formation lap. Merc sits on that top step. Bravo, what a cat's bird eye view of the track. Can he get a good start this evening? Get that off. Let's get the tires on. Well, a lot of guys, everybody from 11th down to 16th has gone for that medium compound strategy. We'll see what happens in the remainder of this race. But in the meantime, let's take a nice little look through. How's the clouds look? It is definitely overcast here. So the Mercedes starting P1 and P3. Can they convert that into a double podium this evening? We'll see. It's going to be up to Bravo and Phil. They have a lot of quick drivers behind them looking to try to nab that podium from them. Everybody warming those tires up. Guys on the mediums are going to have to work them just a little bit more than the guys on the soft compound. Alright, 17 drivers here this evening. Let's make sure you have been doing it so far this evening. Not this evening, but most of the season, keeping it respectful yet racing hard. Let's do it again this evening. The Australian Grand Prix. As I mentioned, round 7. Track looks a bit greasy. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Ross can do against his Tier 2 competitor. So both these guys in Tier 2, that just gives you guys an idea of the drivers putting themselves on pole position here, having a chance to do so against some quicker drivers, like Elise, who was in Tier 1, and Seal, who was in Tier 1. Mercedes rounding the corner now. You guys hear my daughter, she's handing me a balloon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's lining up to the line now. We are about to go racing here. Let's take a look down. Operator putting that Red Bull on the final step. Nerves kick in at this point. Get ready for those 5 red lights, ladies and gentlemen. And we're ready. 5 red lights are lit. And it's lights out at the Australian Grand Prix, round 7. Looks like Bravo gets a great start. What is going to happen with Ross? Ross tucks into P2. What about turn 3? Is everybody making it through turn? A couple shoulders out. I think everybody's made it through turn 1, though. No flashing yellow flags. Awesome job by these guys. So Bravo holds on to the lead coming into turn 1. Or not turn 1, turn 3. Everybody nicely done. Ooh, McLaren's going to get a bit racy against the Aston Martin. Or not Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo. Side by side. Ooh, that's the corner. I wouldn't go side by side through. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Let's jump on board with... Ah. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. So the Alfa Romeo does get ahead of the McLaren. The AlphaTauri should have a little bit more pace. Easy does it, easy does it. Side by side going through. Take a look on the Alpine of the battle between the AlphaTauri and the McLaren. Aston Martin's going through on the Alpine. Aston Martin up in position. Everybody, oh, the Aston Martin has a moment. Oh, he spins. Oh, he's collected somebody else. Oh man, there's a massive bit of people that got collected by that. Who was it? A Ferrari, a Williams, there's Carito, and who was that? Aston Martin. Is that any kind of... we have a virtual safety car for that instant. So these drivers will have to maintain a proper delta time and a gap between each other. But that was Allow Your Face, Carito, and Morris who got caught up in that incident as Wilson pulls into the pits. What is happening? Morris has had a spin, so it actually wasn't... Oh no, the Ferrari team are going to double stack. He should get away just on time. Carito getting a front wing as well, putting on the soft compound. Virtual safety car still active here for lap 2. Ross just behind Seal, and that Aston Martin looking at a podium position just ahead of him. If he can overtake Phil in that Mercedes, but it is going to be a tall order because that Mercedes is a lightning fast car in the straights. As Wilson gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, we're back to green flag racing here at Australia, lap 2. Molly going under pressure with Hubdy. This could be a battle to watch. Keep an eye on the Delta. Ross is getting racy against Bravo for P1. Ross backs out of it. Bravo holds on the P1. Bravo's got to put that throttle down in that Mercedes to get away from Ross, to try to get away from that DRS range. But right now, as it stands, Ross right on the gearbox of Bravo. Within 1 second, you will have DRS. It's not active yet, but once it is, Ross or Bravo will have a bit of something to look at in his rearview mirror. Jake, unfortunately, Ryan goes down in position. As you see Molly overtake using that Mercedes power to get past the Alfa Romeo. DRS now available, so this is a lap that Bravo's got to do it. Ross sitting in the catbird seat. Morris sets the fastest lap of the race. It is only the second lap, though. They are under VSC for the first. Oh no, Bravo! That's what I'm going to see. Another virtual safety car, second of this evening. Bravo, the man who started on pole position. That has got to hurt. He hit that inside curve, I know he did, and it put the rear end out, and he went right into the wall. So another VSC here this evening. So that puts Ross now up to P1 with Bravo's teammate Phil in P2. See if Phil can hold on to the back of Ross. Phil's lost a lot of time under this VSC. Yeah, he went down pretty significantly on seconds-wise. That's interesting to see. Still VSC. Foley sitting in P4. DBR Ryan, the man we know, puts a lot of performance into these underperforming cars. Right now, P5. We're back to racing here. Lap 4 out of 29. 16 drivers started. We are already down 1. How many are going to survive this race, especially when the rain hits? Ross, 1.8 up the road now. Phil in P2 has Seal just behind. Can Seal hold onto that toe of the Mercedes and stay within that DRS range? Oh, he's already out of it. That's just the performance I'm telling you from between the cars. Molly is now getting closer to Seal. As we have one heck of a battle with Hubdy going against Ryan. Hubs had to back out of it, the dirty air. DRS is operator gets a 3-second time penalty at the first to any driver this evening. As we did see Jake have a drive-through for his speeding under the VSC. It looks like he has served that, so he's clear of any penalties. Let's see, Molly does get around A.B. Orion. Hubs right on that back. Goes past Ryan. At least now pushing down. These guys, I mean, from what I've seen so far, that one collision at the beginning of the race, that wasn't intentional. One of the drivers lost it, and a couple of guys unfortunately got caught up in it. But so far, these guys really cleanly done. So just keep it that way. I'd like to see it. Molly really pressuring Seal now for P3, the final step on the podium. What can Molly do? Carrito sets the fastest lap of the race at 26. Now it's getting changed. Allow your face. See what Jake can do. Jake now takes it. I thought that. Bravo, just my luck. Yeah, mate. That's unfortunate. Keeping on board with Molly going against Seal here. I'm going to take a quick gander of where we're at next week. I already think I know where we're at next week. Yeah, that's a nice track. Next week, it's going to be nice. Final round for the guys in these cars. Molly, DRS makes a move on Seal. Side by side, Seal's gonna hold the door though. Seal tucks in behind that McLaren. Hubby now charging up the field. Ryan holding on the P6. He does have Panta and Elise. Panta puts the shoulder in a little bit. Elise drops down to P8. Bill now, his teammate Bill, just working his way up the field after crashing out early in Q1. Where's Bill in contention with his teammate, 1 to 2.4 down. Feathering that throttle, he does have Stig right behind, trying to push that Alpine ahead of him. Ryan gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Lap 6 out of 29 here. I'm gonna put it on the stream. I'm winning at the Bahrain. Yeah, you already called out where we're at next week. For some reason I thought we were at Monza, but I'm glad I took a look at the calendar. Panta, a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Lisa's crashed out on the main straight with Ryan. Ryan wall as well. I wonder if that was something that happened between the two drivers. Operator pulls up behind, because we do have a full course safety car. So only on lap 7 into this race, we have had 2 VSCs and now a full course safety car. I happen to wonder if all these guys on the soft compounds are going to dive into the pits. Yeah, Morris does, Carrito does, get off those soft compounds and put on a medium compound. Carrito gets a 5-second for speeding into the pit lane. These guys are picking up penalties like it's a Christmas gift. I have a feeling these penalties are going to play a major factor as well. I know Australia is pretty aggressive when it comes to track extensions. We'll take a look with Ross. Should be the guy that picks up the safety car. That's interesting. Carrito, Allow Your Face, and Jake have all gone for a fresh soft compound, whereas Morris has gone for a medium compound. Is the rain closer than we think? I think with a couple of these VSCs, it might show up a little sooner than expected. Maybe that's why Carrito, Allow Your Face, and Wilson have gone for an aggressive strategy. As Jake gets another speeding under safety car drive-through, which I believe he cannot serve under the safety car, so that's going to put him down the ways. A lot of the guys on the soft compounds going in for a medium. No, Molly's gone for another soft compound. Alright, this rain must be imminent. Panta's gone for a soft compound as well. Stig stays out, Bill stays out. Bill had put himself up to P4 after an early qualifying Q1 mare, hunting his podium streak that I think ended last week, but this man has found a podium almost every race that he's raced here in Realistic. Not a win, but a podium. Nevertheless, that's why he's sitting P3 in the championship. Ross holding on. Oh, Seal gets a little close to the end of that Mercedes gearbox. But everybody looks like they're starting to pick up the tail end of the safety car queue. Why is it froze on me? There he is. I don't see any rain droplets yet. Everybody following the safety car. I think we're going to have one more lap of this safety car. As I can tell, Ross isn't really backing these guys up just yet. But Ross holding on to the lead. We have Phil in P2. Oh, that sun is peaking. I don't know. Maybe the soft compound was... It's a tough choice. These drivers know more than I do. They're talking to their, Mr. Jeff in the pit box that knows the weather that's inbound, but I still see that sun peeking through on the left side out of the start-finish line straight. I'm just wondering, how soon is this rain gonna hit? Take a look down the field. Couple guys in the Ferrari team just need to catch up to the back queue. Safety car should be in after this lap.